Keyshawn Johnson from the Undisputed. I got a little special for y'all. We're going to preview some games from this weekend. A lot of sights and sounds, both in the college world as well as in the NFL. Let's go.
With Brock Purdy in concussion protocol and questionable this week, Sam Darnold in line to start for the 5-2 49ers against the 3-3 Bengals in Santa Clara. Keyshawn, who are you picking? Take a listen to Dan Orlovsky on Sam Darnold this morning on Get Up.
I think the offense will be just fine and won't skip a beat under Sam Darnold. That is not a knock on Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has been an elite quarterback this year, top 5 guy in the NFL. Sam Darnold's the most talented quarterback Kyle Shanahan would have had since at least Matt Ryan. And this is a young man that has been in awful situations since he was a part of the NFL, and some good and some bad. But this is by far the best situation when it comes to, do I have a good offense to be in? Yes. Do I have a great play caller? Yes. Do I have the proper people around me? Yes. Now, Trent Williams playing would go a long way to him having some success against the good defense in Cincinnati. But if Sam Darnold's got to be the guy, I have very little issue.
What? I 100% agree with Dan Orlovsky. There's no question in my mind, and not because Sam Darnold was a USC Trojan, but if you look at his tenure in the National Football League, he started off with Todd Bowles as his head coach, then Adam Gase. Why in the hell was Adam Gase his head coach? I have no idea. Then he moves on to a situation with Matt Rule. Then Matt Rule gets fired, and then Steve Wilks, a defensive-minded coach, takes over. Then they ship Christian McCaffrey off to the San Francisco 49ers. He lands in a perfect situation in free agency with Kyle Shanahan. He is by far the most talented quarterback in a long list of quarterbacks that Kyle Shanahan has had since, I would say, Matt Ryan. And then when you pair that with a solid defense, an awesome running game, an awesome play caller, with players like Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams at the tackle position, Kittle at the tight end spot, you have something as a foundation for a quarterback with loads of talent. There's a reason he was taken in the top 5 in the NFL draft. They didn't necessarily miss on him. He just, in 6 years in the National Football League, 5 different head coaches, several different offensive coordinators. If this doesn't work for Sam Darnold, if he's given the opportunity to be the starter based on Brock Purdy's injury, then it wasn't meant to be. With that being said, I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers in this game over Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the Cincinnati Bengals. The score will be 35-24.
The 4-2 Cowboys are at home this week coming off a bye, facing Matthew Stafford and the Rams, who sit at 3-4. After their last win, our very own Nick Wright looked ahead at the Cowboys' schedule. Take a listen.
Love to be on here and puff my chest out and say, told so about the Cowboys. Seen the Cowboys' upcoming schedule, the Eagles' upcoming schedule, which we can show you. There's a very good argument to be made that by Thanksgiving, the Cowboys are going to be in first place. You look at these upcoming schedules, that when the Cowboys could be in first place after week 9. They beat the Rams, they'll be playing the Eagles for first place. Even if they don't beat the Eagles there, they then get Giants, Panthers, not so frisky Commanders, while the Eagles have the Chiefs and the Bills and the Niners.
Yep.
So I'd love to be like, told you guys wrote off the Cowboys too early, and I do think they were written off a little too early.
See, again, I'm going to have to cut Nick's hair to get it back, pull past the ears so he can actually hear what he's saying, because I don't think he understands that the Cowboys are Cowboys. They play the Los Angeles Rams, which an offense with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Sean McVay and company can score and put up points. The Dallas Cowboys are fragile. Even if they beat the Rams, they go to Philadelphia in a head-to-head matchup against the Eagles. All the Philadelphia Eagles continue to do is they get better. They go out and they make off-season acquisitions, in-season acquisitions, while the Dallas Cowboys are simply staying the same. Just because Dallas took care of business doesn't mean that, oh, my God, they're on a roll. They beat the Chargers by 3 points. It wasn't like they ran over the Chargers. And I play for the Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys hater. What I like to do is bring calm to this entire situation about the Dallas Cowboys, because there are so many delusional Cowboy fans about what team they have. If they lose to the Cowboys, yeah, their schedule gets a little bit lighter, but oh my God, it gets rough in the month of December when they start looking at the Bills and the Miamis of the world and the Philadelphias again. So I'm not quick to say that all of a sudden they're going to be in first place come Thanksgiving, because I simply don't look at it that way. I look at Jalen Hurts and company and what they did to the Miami Dolphins at home last week. Miami came in with a high-flying scoring machine. All they did was took care of business both in the pass game, the running game, and on the defensive side of the ball. With everything that I just said, I'm going to pick the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Rams, but I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if the Rams somehow sneak into Jerry's world and upset the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys should win this game 28-17.
Thursday night football tonight, Bucs at Bills. Is it as simple as Baker Mayfield against Josh Allen? David Jacoby on the Carton Show thinks so. Take a listen.
Well, let's not overthink this. It is Baker Mayfield against Josh Allen. Yep. The Bills win easily. What's the next headline?
Yeah, I think the Bills do win easily, but we do get paid to talk about it. So
you can't say that, though.
We're going to have to talk.
But you can't push back. They lost against a 1-5 Patriots.
I'm with you on that, but they're still going to beat Tampa by a lot.
Easily.
Yeah, they're gonna win this football game, right? And that's the Buffalo Bills. And I like Baker Mayfield. I like the early season story of redemption. Oh my God, Cleveland gave him a raw deal. Carolina gave him a raw deal. He goes to Tampa Bay. They all love him. We all thought by now it would be contract extension talks, that they're not gonna draft a quarterback. You got to backpedal now. You got to push the brakes and you got to slow it down, because clearly Baker Mayfield may not be the answer in Tampa Bay. Although I'm rooting for him to be successful in Tampa Bay, I just don't think that it's going to happen at the level that we thought at the beginning of the season. So when you look at it, you say Buffalo just lost to a division rival in Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots and Bill Belichick, they always split in the regular season with the Buffalo Bills. So that's not a surprise. Buffalo also bounces back after a terrible loss and kind of go on a medium run. And this is the first time that they'll have an opportunity to redeem themselves against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. I think the score will be 27-12. Buffalo, Stephon Diggs and company will prevail, and he'll have a big game along with Josh Allen.
Can you trust Josh Allen to lead the Bills to the playoffs this season? Take a listen to Willie Colon versus Craig Carton.
I'm not knocking his heart or his character. What I'm knocking is that sometimes he's his worst enemy. Go back to him getting in the fight with the Giants linebackers. Because he wants to prove he's down with the boys. You're our starting quarterback. Back up, let the big uglies go to fight.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a trade-off, right? I'm willing to accept there's going to be a rogue play that I'm going to pull whatever hair I used to have out, right? Yeah. And I'm going to be like, come on, Josh. But I'm going to trade that. I'll accept that for all the great stuff he does. And I'm telling you, he seems like a great guy,
Name
too,
one play this season that you say, wow, that's why I want Josh Allen to be my quarterback.
Every touchdown pass that guy throws, I'm like, Jesus, that guy can throw
And every interception I see, I'm saying, that's why I don't want him as my quarterback
But they've had success with it. Why? See, I view it this way.
You don't even have, who do you think is going to win the division right now? The Bills aren't?
Well, see, I disagree with him saying that the Bills aren't going to win the division. I think the Bills are right there with the Miami Dolphins, a team that they've already beaten. They understand how to play against the Miami Dolphins. So when you talk about winning the division, yes, Josh Allen and company will probably win the division and make it to the playoffs again. I understand this. We're enamored with the Miami Dolphins' high-flying, explosive offense with Tyreek Hill and Tua and company and Jalen Waddle and what they're able to do in the run game. But here's what I would say. I'm not ready to count out the Buffalo Bills because they lose to the New England Patriots. I'm never going to be a prisoner of the moment when talking about teams. It just doesn't work that way. And Josh Allen is an amazing big-arm quarterback. He is a dual threat, no question about it. Yes, does he turn the football over? Yeah, he does, but all quarterbacks turn the football over. And will he turn the football over at wrong times? Yeah, he does. But will he score touchdowns at the right time? Yes, he does. As I said before, when they've lost games, they've matched it by coming back and saying, we're going to erase that loss and make everybody proud about us up in Orchard Park again. And I'm looking forward to them doing it, starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Heading into Week 8, who is your current MVP frontrunner?
Well, heading into Week 8, I would say my favorite in terms of the MVP and the frontrunner right now is still Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the guy. You're not going to all of a sudden erase Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson has closed the gap significantly. Jalen Hurts has come right behind Lamar. Tua's still sitting there with Tyreek Hill to finish up the top 5. But Patrick Mahomes is the MVP favorite. I don't know who else would there be. I mean, like, you can't give it to Joe Burrow. You can't give it to Josh Allen. You may be able to if Lamar continues playing the way he played a week ago. He may even be able to close the gap even more if Patrick Mahomes takes a step back. But if P. Mahomes stays doing exactly what him and Kelsey has been able to do thus far, he'll take home yet another MVP trophy.
Hey, Keyshawn, who do you have your eye on as NFL Breakout Player of the Week?
Who do I have my eye on as NFL Breakout Player of the Week? I'm trying to think. Who could that possibly be? I think it could be Michael Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys. I think he could be the NFL Breakout Player of the Week. And what I mean by that is double-digit sacks, getting to Matthew Stafford and company, causing some havoc. Because all week long, over the last 2 weeks, all we've heard about is Nick Bosa, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, blocked field goal, scoop, game-saving sack in the end zone. So now it's time for Michael Parsons to match that and step up. And if he wants to be heard as the next potential Lawrence Taylor or even close to DeMarcus Ware, a Hall of Famer, he's got to now take the next step if Dallas is planning on catching the Philadelphia Eagles. So I would say it's Michael Parsons.
Finally, Deion and Colorado come to L.A. this weekend. Do the Buffs upset UCLA?
I do think that they upset UCLA. In fact, I'll be at the game. So I'm going to cheer and root for Deion Sanders. I cannot stand UCLA because I went to the real USC, which is University of Southern California, not South Carolina. So I have UCLA losing to Colorado. I don't know why they're favored by 17 points. It makes no sense to me, but the odds makers seem to think that Colorado has suffered here recently prior to their bye, and then they lose to Stanford at home. So everybody thinks that they're not going to go on the road and take care of business against UCLA. I'm not one of those. Prime and company, they win the game going away. Thanks for joining me yet again on another extra special of the Undisputed. You cannot get rid of me anytime soon, so tune in for all these simple sound bites and whatnot, and I'll be back again next week.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.